When we're building our confidence and on a self-growth journey, sometimes what can happen is we end up in a fear cycle where we don't feel good enough and we put more attention on what we want to improve and what we need to get better than our progress or feeling good right now. So what started off as something positive, wanting to improve ourselves, wanting to grow and build our confidence, actually ends up harming our confidence because we end up feeling not good enough and focusing on what we want to improve and perceived gaps. And no amount of money we earn feels enough. We always want to achieve the next milestone, or however fit we get in the gym, we just want to hit that next achievement or that next goal rather than feeling good as we are right now. So in this video, we're going to help you get out of that cycle, help you to feel good in the now, and bank all of the great progress that you've made on your confidence and on your self-growth journey, and feel good in your life right now, whilst in a healthy way continuing to develop the things that you want. Welcome to the YouTube channel for Catch. My name is Sam and I'm the founder here at Catch. Unshakable confidence is the key to getting everything that you want in life and dating. So on this channel, we help you to build that unshakable confidence and become the most unstoppable version of you. If you want to work with us in any way, all that information is in the description box below, including a free to enter competition with prizes of up to £250. So if you feel stuck, if you feel like you've been working on yourself for a while, you've been on your healing journey, on your confidence journey, you've been working on leveling up, but you still don't feel confident in yourself, you still don't feel good in yourself, and you're not sure where to turn next, here are 4 tips plus a bonus to help break out of that funk, feel good in yourself right now whilst continuing to develop. So tip number 1 is to run towards your fears. One thing that we've seen in our clients, and I've also had to work on as an individual, is even though we're building our confidence, we may be putting ourselves out there more, whether that's in jobs, in relationships, in dating, or in other areas of life. And even though we're taking these risks, we can still be scared of the rejection or scared of the outcome or not achieving what we want to achieve. So instead of tackling those things head on or taking the steps that we need to take to achieve that goal, we can end up avoiding the situation. So avoiding difficult conversations, avoiding putting ourselves out there in dating, avoiding applying for that job that we really want, because even though we want it, we might believe that we won't get it or will be rejected, or it might be difficult. So rather than go for it, we avoid it. So analyze within yourself, what are those things that I'm avoiding? What are those things that I'm putting off? And address those head on. Because otherwise what we're telling ourselves is, and telling our nervous system, is that there's this thing over here that we cannot handle. We cannot trust ourselves to handle it. We're not capable of handling it. And it's something that has fear around it. And therefore, we're going to avoid it. And so in the future, we'll be more scared, less likely to tackle it, and it will become an increasing problem. Whereas if we tackle or run towards those things we're scared of, we're telling ourselves and our nervous system, no, I am capable of dealing with that. I'm strong enough to deal with it. I'm capable enough of dealing with it. And nothing can get in my way between me and what I want and the outcome that I want to achieve. So anything that's scaring you, make sure that you run towards it. And there's also a book which I believe is called Eat the Frog, and it talks about this and says that on a day-to-day basis, if there's a task that you are not looking forward to, you're dreading, and it's filling you with fear, to tackle that task first in the day so that you don't have time to build up fear and anxiety around it. So give it a go. Tip 2 is to expect rejection and expect embarrassment along your growth journey and going for your goals. Now, we've done 2 videos recently on how to get any job or any career you want and how to overcome imposter syndrome, where we talk about expect rejection along the journey. Because as I just mentioned in the previous tip, if we're scared of rejection or not getting what we want straight away, we're less likely to take those chances or put ourselves into the situations where we can get what we want. We're less likely to approach the person that we're interested in or ask them out. We're less likely to apply for that job. We're less likely to go and speak to someone who runs a company that we admire. We won't put ourselves in the situations to get what we want. Or we may not even start. We might not start that business or that YouTube channel that we want to grow, because we're scared of it not working and we're scared of the rejection and the embarrassment. But if we can normalize and expect being rejected and see that as part of the journey from getting from A to B, from where we are now to what we want, or expect being embarrassed, and we normalize it, then those things will not be blockers anymore. We won't be scared by those outcomes or those emotions, because we'll see it as part of that journey, part of getting what we want, and actually a benefit, because we just need to overcome these rejections and this embarrassment to get to that end goal. So we'll see it as part of the journey, part of the learning, and make the goal that we want even more inevitable. And this is particularly important when we're starting something new. So if you're building your confidence and starting to approach people on the street that you're romantically interested in, if we give up at the first sign of rejection, maybe we go up and approach someone in the street and they say that they're in a relationship. If we just say, knew it, there was no point in working on my confidence and working on approaching people in public, then we'll be back to where we were. We won't have moved any closer to what we want. We won't be closer to the dating life or the relationship that we want. And the same in a work context. If we don't put ourselves out there, we're never going to get the job that we want. We're going to be stuck where we are. And there's that classic saying that we lose 100% of the risks that we don't take. So we won't get anything unless we go for it. So if we can normalize rejection and expect it, then you're halfway there. And there are even creators online, on Instagram, on TikTok, who are doing these challenges of wanting to rack up 100 rejections or 1,000 rejections. And it's a win-win for them, because when they go for something, they either get the rejection, so they get closer to their goal of 100 or 1,000 rejections, or they're surprised and they get the thing that they've applied for or gone for, or they get a step closer to it. So perhaps a reframe, if you really struggle with this, is to do one of those challenges. Challenge yourself to get 50 or 100 rejections, and then you'll see it as just part of the self-growth process. So choose your hard. Choose being rejected and embarrassed, or choose being unsatisfied with the life that you have now. It's up to you. Tip 3 is to focus on the journey rather than the outcome. So what we can see, and sometimes in our clients, is that they start to make a change and start to do something differently in their life, whether that's being more vulnerable, being more bold and direct in their communication, going for more leadership roles, applying for roles in the industry that they want. And the first sign, or even perceived sign of rejection, they take that as, well, what I'm doing isn't working. And they give up, or they want to give up. And they expect these instant results. So they're focused too much on the outcome, and they tell themselves, okay, I'm going to make this change, I'm going to try it. But as soon as I see any challenge, I'm just going to give up. Now, the problem with that is that building a new skill, building a new behaviour takes time and takes several attempts. So the first time you try something, you probably won't be very good at it. So by only trying something once, and then if it doesn't work out exactly how you envisaged, giving up is just a way to keep yourself safe. Although it feels safe in the moment, it doesn't protect you, because as we just talked about, you choose your hard, right? You either go for the things that you want and have to learn and overcome the challenges to get there, or you stay where you are. So what is helpful when trying to build a new skill or behavior or approach something in a new way is, rather than focus on the outcome, so wanting to get that first job or get that first interview, or if you're being vulnerable, be embraced for that vulnerability straight away, is to persist with it and focus on the learning and the journey of getting to where you want to go, rather than just achieving the outcome. So if you practice something, if you practice, for example, being vulnerable or more direct communication, and you don't get the exact result that you were hoping for, try it a second time and a third time and a fourth time. And what did you learn each time? What worked? What didn't work? What can you refine and put in place next time? And if you keep focus on the learning journey and think about why you're doing it for you, why do you want to be more vulnerable, or why do you want to be more direct in your communication? If you focus on that, your why, and practicing and learning, then you're much more likely to build the skill and then eventually get the outcome that you want. Whereas if you put too much pressure on getting instant results, as I say, it's easy to be knocked back. It will affect your confidence even more, because you'll think, I put myself out there, I didn't get the result I wanted, why did I bother? So it may make you take a step back even further. And again, it will stop you getting what you want. So whenever you're feeling frustrated, like you're not getting the progress that you want, return yourself back to the present, why you're doing it, the learning and the practice, and what you're hoping to achieve for you and what you're learning. And then you should feel a renewed energy. And the other thing to mention here is that unshakable confidence is the key to getting what you want. But often when we're trying a new skill or building a new behaviour or approaching something in a new way, we're not fully confident the first few times that we try it. So the other thing to bear in mind is that often we get responses which are reflective of the level of confidence or skill that we have in that area. And therefore, if you expect instant results, you're not going into it with the full level of confidence. So keep practicing and you will see the results getting increasingly better in what you're going for. And tip 4 to build your confidence when you're on your growth journey, or if you're struggling with your growth journey and you just want to feel more confident right now, exactly how you are right now, is to just let go, detach, and have fun in your current reality. Because again, we can get too attached to the outcome. We can get too focused on the self-development. We can get too serious about this whole thing. I want to be the best version of myself. And it's interesting seeing the trend on social media now around looks maxing and talking about biohacking and some of these new trends where we take it extremely seriously and we can't just do something 80%, we have to do it 100% or 120%. But often taking something that seriously takes the fun out of it. And the whole point in life is to learn, develop, experiment, have fun. So if something is really bothering you, or you're not feeling good in yourself, perhaps you're trying to achieve a certain physique and you don't feel like you're getting there fast enough, or you look the way that you want, just give yourself a few days to relax and enjoy yourself. Spend time with family, spend time with friends, enjoy your hobbies. And every time a doubt or a fear or a negative thought about that situation or that circumstance or what you're trying to achieve comes up, just tell yourself, it will be fine, it will work itself out. Because 90% of the time, when we let go and we stop stressing about all the details and we let go of all that anxiety, not only do we feel better, therefore we feel more confident just because we feel better and we're having fun, but also by coming out of that anxious, wound up place, we have more clarity. So we can see better what's working, what's not working, and we can perceive from a more balanced place and a more logical place all the different factors playing into it. Whereas often with a circumstance, if we're really overthinking it, we're really anxious, or we're too focused on the details or those instant results that we talked about earlier, we can miss important information, or we can ignore our intuition, or we can project, past hurt or traumas or things that didn't work out onto a situation and not read it properly. And when we overthink, it's been shown that our brain tends to go down a more negative perception rather than positive. So when we're overthinking, when we're anxious, we're less likely to see things clearly and we're more likely to see the negative. So just give yourself a few days. And I've got to say, there's been several times in my life where this has worked for me, where I've been stressed about getting new customers into the business. And I've just said to myself, I'm going to give myself a few days or a week, send emails or approach customers where I need to, but not stress about it. just focus on the gym, focus on having fun, and then, when I feel better in a few days, I'll come back to it. Usually in those few days, new opportunities pop up, people contact me, things just fall into place. I get the signature on that piece of work, and I'm sure there's something spiritual in there or something bigger than me that's at play. But when you just let go and detach and have fun, things tend to fall into place. So give yourself the permission, whilst taking the steps you need to take, but try and take the emotional energy out of it and just enjoy the journey. So those are the key 4 tips, but I'm going to give you one bonus one. If you do those 4, or if you're trying to do those 4 and you still feel rubbish, you still don't feel good in yourself, you're still focused on all the things that you need to do or you want to do or you need to improve, clean your house. I cannot tell you how good that will make you feel. If your space is clear and organized and feels good, get it smelling good, get all the floors clean, organize that junk drawer that you've been delaying for a long time, clear out your clothes, get some of those old clothes to the charity shop, or sell them online, and maybe get yourself a new piece of clothing to make yourself feel good, indulge in some self-care. But whenever your mind is jumbled, you need something physical and cleansing to get yourself out of that place. So clean your house. Plus, when you clean your house, you can put some music on, you can dance around, you can be silly, you can enjoy it. Plus, at the end, clear space, clear mind. So thank you very much. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you've got any tips to share with our viewers about what makes you feel better when you're in a bit of a funk, or when you're struggling to achieve that goal or that outcome that you want, please do pop those down below, because we love to hear your suggestions and for us to build this community and help one another. Thank you for liking, sharing, commenting and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.